Hey everyone, are you tired of feeling overwhelmed by negative emotions? Do you find yourself stuck in a cycle of negative thoughts that just won't stop? Well, today we're going to learn some amazing tools to help you process emotions and break free from that negative thought loop. Hi, I'm your host, and I'm here to help you understand how to process emotions in a fun and easy way. Have you ever felt like your thoughts and emotions are just too much to handle? Well, you're not alone. In fact, it's a common experience for many of us. But don't worry, because I have some great tips to help you overcome those negative thoughts and feelings. Let's start by slowing down the negative thought loop. So, what is a negative thought loop? It's when your mind becomes trapped in a pattern of negative thoughts that just keep repeating over and over and over. And it can be incredibly draining and exhausting. But don't worry, there are ways to slow it down and break free. First, try to identify the negative thought. This can be as simple as saying to yourself, I'm having the thought that, insert your negative thought. By acknowledging the thought, you're taking the first step in slowing it down. And you can do this anytime you notice yourself stuck in a negative thought loop. Next, acknowledge that this is just a thought. You can choose to believe it or dismiss it as unhelpful. This can help you gain a more balanced perspective and reduce the power of negative thought. For example, let's say your negative thought is, I'm not good enough. To find evidence against this thought, you could remind yourself of times when you were successful or when others have complimented you. Then decide if you believe this thought or not. You might say something like, I have had times when I fell short, but I have had just as many successes. By considering both sides, you can see that the thought, I'm not good enough, is not necessarily true all the time. And finally, try to replace the negative thought with a positive or neutral one. This can help to break the cycle and create a more positive outlook. For example, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, you could replace that thought with something like, I may not be perfect, but I'm doing the best I can, and that's enough. Now, let's talk about cognitive fusion and diffusion. Cognitive fusion is when we become fully absorbed and identified with our thoughts, as if they were objective reality. And this can lead to a lot of suffering and stress. But there is a way to break free from this fusion, and it's called cognitive diffusion. Cognitive diffusion is when we step back from our thoughts and see them as just thoughts, rather than objective reality. This allows us to have a more detached and flexible relationship with our thoughts, and reduces their power over us. For example, let's say you're having the thought, I'm going to fail this test. With cognitive fusion, you might become fully absorbed in this thought and start to feel overwhelmed and stressed. You are fused to the thought. You believe it to be true. But using cognitive diffusion, you can step back from the thought and recognize that it's just a thought, not a fact. You could remind yourself that you prepared well for the test and that thoughts don't determine your worth or success. This shift in perspective can help to reduce the stress and anxiety associated with the thought. Example 1. You're feeling anxious about a big presentation at work tomorrow. You start to have the thought, I'm going to mess up and everyone will judge me. To slow down the negative thought loop, you acknowledge the thought and remind yourself that it's just a thought. Then, you find evidence against the thought by thinking about past presentations that went well and the positive feedback you received. Finally, you replace the negative thought with a positive one, such as, I am capable and well prepared, and I'll do my best. Example 2. You're feeling down about a recent breakup. You keep having the thought, I'll never find love again. To slow down the negative thought loop, you acknowledge the thought and remind yourself that it's just a thought. Then, you find evidence against the thought by thinking about all the love and relationships in your life, both past and present. Finally, you replace the negative thought with a positive one, such as, I am worthy of love and happiness, and I'll attract the right person into my life in due time. By using these tools, you can effectively process emotions and slow down negative thought loops. And the best part is, with practice, these tools will become second nature, and you'll be able to apply them in any situation. I hope you enjoyed learning about these tools to process emotions and slow down negative thought loops. Don't forget to practice, 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 and always remember that you're not alone in this journey. Take care, and see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye!